I ate so much food.
Yeah, maybe after dinner is not the best moment to do this stuff.
The podcast is like who can stay awake longest. Me being jet lagged.
Oh yes,
you working all day and then eating a lot of food.
What time is supposed to be for you?
It's 6 hours. So 3 p.m. But we only slept 4 hours the last trip. Yeah. Look at my belly; it's coming through my shirt. I'm here with Daniele Tonelli.
Tonelli.
Yeah. Okay. How are you, my friend?
I'm good. I'm really good.
Yeah.
Tired, full of food, but good.
Was the first time I met you the first time you were working at Royal Tattoo, or had you come here before?
No, it was my first time.
Oh, great.
Yeah, in May.
That was a great time.
Yeah.
I'm sad that I don't get to work with you again this week.
Oh, yeah, me too. Me too.
I'm glad I get you just for this recording here.
Thank you to invite me.
My pleasure. So how did that you ended up coming up here?
To Henning, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I met Henning in London when I was living there.
Yeah.
But I never tried to ask him to let me work in his shop. Honestly, I don't know why. When it was January this year, I just texted him. He was so happy to having me here, and I was really, oh wow, he's more happy than me. How is possible this stuff, you know? It was so empathic on a text, and I'm here now. And this is the second time I come here. I'm really, really happy. Amazing shop, amazing people, really big art from everybody, honestly.
Yeah, the last time you were here, we were doing the paint night, and you were doing a lot of drawings.
I'm drawing on my iPad. I love drawing on my iPad, even if everybody complain because it doesn't look like really artistic things.
Yeah, but you're able to do a lot of stuff with the iPad. I mean, it's just a different medium. I think when it first came out, a lot of people were kind of against it because it was so different and new.
Exactly. This is like, I mean, I saw different people come against me. Oh, this is not a real drawing. This is like, I mean, you don't have an original stuff. This is no painting.
Sure.
Agree 100% because it's a different stuff. I think that is really useful for drawing every day because you can show customers straight away. You can take picture, just download pictures. So it's really, really good. And after, I follow some video in YouTube. And I start to play with the iPad, and I can draw a lot of stuff on iPad now, like color. I mean, I bring you some stuff. So I don't know if you can't see, but they are all made by iPad, and I think that looks close to an original one. I mean, if you don't know, I think it could be a painting.
Right. Yeah. The prints that you gave me are incredible because they, to me, look just like a watercolor because you have the texture on there as well. If you told me you had just painted them by hand, I couldn't argue with you.
This is what I mean. The only sad stuff is you don't have an original when you finish.
Sure.
Because I don't know if the people think that is in a way faster, because it's faster. Actually, for me, it's like less stressful because I don't feel any stress because I know that I can fuck up something and I can come back.
Yeah, and change it easily.
Yeah, exactly. So when I do with watercolor, it's a little bit more stressful when I'm doing that. Yeah, because I'm always scared to make some mistakes inside, and throw away everything.
Right. Once the ink is down there, that's it.
Exactly.
The one thing I noticed about using the iPad is that I almost do a little bit more revisions. Like I would do more redrawing.
Okay.
Because with the tracing paper, like once you screw something up and have to redraw it again, that's a whole lot more work. But you can just kind of like select a little area to redraw,
exactly,
change the size. So really, when you kind of break it down, it almost seemed like you're using the same methods you would with a copier and tracing paper to kind of redraw things.
We are, talking about tattooer, less lazy now, because I can show something to a customer. If he doesn't like something, we can change it straight away without throw away all the work you did at home, for example. Yeah. And I think it's really, really helpful for me and for the customer. So
yeah, no, for me, I definitely use it more so for the final draft.
So you sketch on a paper first.
I always draw on the paper because for some reason I can't get the proportions correct. So I need something solid.
Okay.
And I think it's just from my habits of drawing. Like I still am not able to transition to just drawing straight on it.
Okay.
But I still like the feeling of paper and the wax pencil.
Yeah, that is the only part that is not nice. I never tried the paper that goes on top of the iPad, the plastic one that looks like paper actually. I never
it's like
tried.
a little texture.
Exactly. But on a screen, is different from paper, obviously. Even feeling with the screen.
Yeah. I just kind of go back and forth nowadays. I'll always start something on paper, draw it all the right proportions, and then take a picture of it, and then just take the lines.
Yeah, it's true. Because the main problem for me is when I draw directly in an iPad, the proportion may be, I can put a lot of detail in it, because you can go closer and closer and closer. But after, when you go on screen, maybe it's not really good because it's too complicated to do it for real, for me, obviously.
Yeah. I had this one drawing I was doing, it was like a koi fish.
Oh, yeah.
And then all the water around the koi fish were different sizes.
Oh, yeah.
But they were like all drawn the same.
Yeah.
But just one was bigger than the other. And then I looked at it all as like one screen.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, it's not going to work. So I had to like make a printout of that, redraw everything in paper.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm like saving time on it or not, but
I'm saving time, but it's not something about saving time. It's really comfortable to go to travel with, for example.
Oh, yeah,
so you have all your books and reference inside, so it's really easy. Easy.
Yeah. And I've noticed that you've been posting some demonstrations on your Instagram of a lot of the Onis.
Yeah, I'm studying some Oni at the moment, and I like to show how I draw that stuff from the beginning. Maybe can be helpful for someone.
Sure.
Because when I don't know something, I go to check some videos. And I think it's even nice the process that's building like slowly from the main skeleton and go like level after level, and just build the muscle and you put the clothes on top. So it's all the process, not just directly draw something that you already know.
Right.
Try to go into different position to don't show the same stuff, because obviously people take everything from books.
Yeah.
And you arrive at the point that everybody's doing a little different stuff, but it come from the same print, for example.
Exactly, yeah.
So if you just understand how they work, I think you can promote different position, body position. Obviously, Japanese inspired, because this is what I like to do.
Yeah, and I think it's also good if you're a client and you kind of get to see what work goes into it, because for the most part, we all kind of keep that pretty secret and hidden, but not many.
The drawing part, you mean?
Yeah, like drawing, but maybe an average client who doesn't know much about tattooing, they just think that the image just appears or it comes like easy.
Oh, yeah.
But to kind of show maybe the process and the revisions and all the different steps, I think can maybe give somebody a greater appreciation of the work that you're actually putting into it.
Yeah, that could be a problem, because I think customers sometimes think that is, okay, I wanted this and that, and maybe you have like a big secret books when inside there are like all drawing of the world, and you say, oh yeah, you want this, right? Oh no, and you show another one, and you show another one till they like the actual drawing. So it's a good to show you, okay, this is the amount of time I spent to do your stuff.
Right.
So have a look. All the time maybe are like, I don't know, 3 minutes for a video, and it's like speed drawing.
Yeah, and meanwhile it's like 5 to 10 hours of
it's like hours
time.
Hour of working.
That was another cool thing about it. They actually have a time, like a counter on there. I can show you. It's like it shows you the amount of time you actually spent drawing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
good tips. You have to show me that
calculate
one.
Calculate that into the price of the tattoo.
You have to show. Oh yeah, it could be a good idea. Yeah.
That's awesome. And you've been saying you were getting more into the Japanese tattooing. How long have you been kind of focusing on that?
I did a little bit of up and down, honestly, because I start tattooing when the tattoo word changed. I saw a lot of stuff from the old school, and I saw grow up people. I mean, I grew up with the new people, basically.
Right.
And I think because I started in 2003, after 7-8 years, this world started to change really, really fast and grow in a like crazy way. The old school for me is like a tattooer have to do everything that come from the door.
Right.
So basically, I've been up and down with Japanese because I'm focused, I don't know, black and gray a little, I don't know, Chicano a little bit more, and traditional stuff. So it's just been to any kind of style. I started with new school, for example, and now I'm doing Japanese. I mean, this is what I try to do. And I'm focusing for the last year really into it. Understand meaning of everything, basically. Even what does it mean a dragon, you know what I mean? And I'm working now on my website and try to explain what a tiger means, a dragon means, like this even other people can understand the meaning. Because when I start all this stuff, I've been more in love with the Japanese style.
Right.
By being up and down with horrible stuff for the past, I don't know, 8 years or more.
It's tough to learn.
Yeah.
I love doing Japanese stuff. I don't think...
I like your stuff.
Thank you. But I don't
this
really...
This is podcast.
Thank you. But I don't really know half of the shit I'm doing, really. I mean, obviously I know what a dragon is and kois and stuff, but the deeper meanings behind a lot of the
like
the heroes and the yokai and like
a lot of stuff,
so much deeper than I think you and I would ever be able to, you know, scratch the surface of. But it's definitely interesting to kind of like get into that culture and understand it more.
Yeah, even because I think it can give you more ideas. Because if you read a legend, for example, of a dragon, you can read, oh, there is this, this, and that, but he can do this. So, okay, so next time I can draw something with what I learned from the story, and could be a different twist. Or you can understand something from a prince, for example, that you are seeing, and you say, oh, now I know what is it.
Yeah, I was tattooing my friend Michael Hastings back in the States, and he was telling me about this podcast called The Water Margin.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't listened to it yet, so I probably shouldn't even recommend it. But
recommend it. Just, But, my word. I mean,
but
like
the way he sold me on it sounded really interesting. I just got to make the time for it. But it talks about a lot of the stories that, you know, we might tattoo in the future. So I definitely want to check it out, and if it's good, I want to thank him for that recommendation. But it's funny for me lately. I've been trying to get away from that, like
from meanings, or
from the meanings, and not necessarily to kind of like bastardize any sort of style of tattooing, but I don't know, just maybe look at it a different meaning for myself, I guess, and instead of being like very strict to old tradition that is kind of way over my head.
But I'm not trying to go that deep into the tradition. I mean, I like when people can find the meaning.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not just the real meaning of the tattoo I did.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think it's good to know. Like, any sort of information is great to have. Because if somebody actually wants a very strict Japanese tattoo, like, you at least have
if you know a little bit. Of course.
And that's always good.
The only things I try to follow, if we want to call rules, is, for example, don't mix this flower with the other flower, like go by season, or you can mix all the flower, for what I know, if you do like 4th season something, so it can make sense. I'm trying to focus more in that stuff.
Right.
Just because I want that is more true. So it's not I don't know, maybe I imagine a Japanese guy that know about tattoos, he see my tattoo and say, oh, no, that is not correct. How did you do that? I mean, they're quite straight people. Yeah. So
I'm sure they're just all laughing.
If you want to do that stuff, it's supposed to be in their way. Like a Japanese, if you can, you know, with that kind of crazy mind, if I can say. Sorry, Japanese. I love you anyway.
But it's cool. I like the approach. It's something kind of similar to what I do, like in my sketchbook, where you pick a subject matter and continuously redraw it try to get to know it better. And so I see that pattern emerging with the work you're doing with the Onis right now. It's like trying the different angles and the positions and context.
Yeah, try to copy, because I think it was my huge mistake for a long time. Don't copy stuff. Don't copy other images, because for me it was like cheating. So I say, okay, no, you have to do your stuff. But basically, for what I learned, if you do your stuff without seeing nothing, you're not able to understand nothing at the same point.
Yeah.
So it's better if you cheat, if you want to say that, and understand how the stuff work. And the only way, I think, is just copy something till you learn, basically. So, and after you know how it works, you can do your stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it's cheating. The only way it would be cheating is if you were to like copy it and then tattoo it on somebody. But
I do with commercial stuff.
Yeah,
just copy from internet.
Oh yeah, well yeah, of course, everybody does that.
Yeah,
that's Flash today.
Exactly.
Yeah. But as far as like bigger custom work, stuff like that, I call it studying, where I'll dissect somebody else's work or deconstruct it and kind of trying to get in the head of the person that's drawing it. But then instead of taking, like stealing the imagery, but like kind of stealing the technique of being like, okay, this is the approach. But I think I don't know how else anybody else could study without kind of really like focusing and trying new things like that, because it helps you see something completely different.
Exactly.
Yeah. Did you have any other art training before getting into tattooing, or?
Not really. I mean, I started maybe in the old school way. I didn't know how to draw. I just learning during the tattoo training.
Right.
And learning day after day by myself, basically.
Yeah.
The only things I did, it was 1 year at the comics course. It was a course to study comics.
Yeah.
But I did just the first year, because the first year was focused in anatomy. The rest, it was like proper comic stuff, like building a comics or stuff like that. I mean, it was interesting to do, but not really for what I want.
Right.
Like try to learn how to draw. And actually, it was really good now, because now I'm studying again, and I think the comics really, really help to do Japanese stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they're basically comics.
Yeah.
So, and you can move in that way if you learn how to move like a mannequin, for example.
Sure.
And this is really helpful.
Before I started tattooing when I was really young, I did my own comics.
Okay.
And I would take like...
But did you study art or...?
My mother had sent me to the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston.
Okay.
And there were like these summer courses. And so I would go there a few days out of the week, and I would do copies of the paintings.
Okay, like real live drawing, I mean.
Yeah, live drawing in front of a painting. So I would go to the museum and draw the paintings and do the copies there. We would do like charcoal, pencil, and like the pastel. And then later on, I did some figure drawing.
Okay.
And then I did these Saturday courses and...
but not like a real school, this is what I mean.
No, not in the beginning, no.
Okay.
Like it was just more like after school programs or summer programs. And then a lot of it was just me drawing it on my own. And I would copy comic books. Like I really liked Jim Lee comic when he was doing the X-Men and when he was doing Image comics. So I was really into his anatomy and the structure, and even like how he composed all the different, I guess, stills or whatever on the pages. And that was originally what I was kind of focusing on doing. But
comics.
When I was younger. But
I think that they have a really strong drawing. They know how to draw for real.
Yeah. But the thing I liked about those is like the energy from like the movement. And when I look at like fine art paintings, I see that same energy in like Peter Paul Rubens.
Okay.
Or like some of the paintings from like later Titian paintings. Like they kind of broke out of that mold of like that, that divine conversation where it's just like a bunch of different saints standing around the Madonna.
Okay.
they would have angels with their asses pointed at you and like people reaching up to the sky, or same thing with like Tintoretto. You would see people like in mid-fall.
Okay,
you know?
okay.
So stuff like that I always liked, where it was, I don't know, it wasn't just something just fixed in place. It was more action to it. Something a little bit harder to pose somebody for. You would really have to like have imagination.
Okay. Yeah. You need to know how a body works, and I know what you mean.
Yeah. So I really was drawn to that type of stuff. And you would see that all the time in comic books.
Yeah.
And you start to see some of that same movement and power and force in some of those different types of artists throughout the centuries, and especially in modern comics and like illustration.
Yeah, I like illustration a lot as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I like a lot of the sci-fi illustrations from the 70s. Those are
I
really
was
cool.
more into like, how's he called, the guy, Boris Vallejo.
Yeah, that too.
All that kind of fantasy things, even if I hate fantasy.
Yeah.
But I like the bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work really well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's interesting because as much as I like figurative artwork, I find it very hard to tattoo on somebody, like especially on like an arm or something, like doing a figure in motion, because
but like realistic way,
not
you mean,
realistic, more illustrative,
but like really three-dimensional, or
more active, more like a strong comic book pose.
Okay.
But fitting a whole figure from like toe to head, I find very difficult to kind of put on somebody's body, and getting the right size.
Okay.
Because you can do it in the size of somebody's bicep. But do you have any advice on doing stuff like that?
No,
Like,
really.
No.
Not really. I'm not the guy.
It's tough. I guess I would hold more of that type of artwork to paintings instead of
And tattooing.
than tattooing.
Oh yeah, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It seems to make more sense for, I guess, the medium of it.
Yeah, I think tattoo is a little different from that kind of style. Yeah. That is more painting, more nice to be on a wall or in a books.
Right. Now, you started in tattooing in Italy, correct?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. The first experience was I fly to London after when I finished my study. I fly to London and I tried to learn tattooing there, but no chance. Nobody want me. So I started to work in the kitchen. Italian, obviously, restaurant. After 1 year, I say, okay, just come back in Italy. Let's try to start there. Because I met a guy, can't remember his name. But anyway, he gave me like a name of a company, supply company.
Okay.
Because it was so hard to find stuff around.
Sure.
So I want to get a machine or something. So he gave me this name that was IMAX, I remember, or something.
Okay.
And I bought the first Puma.
Okay.
So I arrived in Italy and I just go up and down from shops and door by door, basically, till a guy say, okay, yes, you can tattoo. I mean, if you have your customer, you can bring the customer, it's fine. But you can stay here and drawing. And I say, okay, it's fine. I can be here. And I start drawing for him. And after, I don't remember, like few months, basically the girl that was working in the shop left straight away. So he passed me her agenda and say, okay, tomorrow you have this.
Oh, wow.
This was my way, basically. No real apprenticeship. It's something like, okay, I start. And I did maybe 15 tattoos before that in 2 years. So
just totally thrown to the wolves.
Exactly. But it was a really big opportunity. Yeah. Because it was really, really hard to go into a tattoo shop.
Sure.
And it's not that, okay, I want a tattoo, I do the course and I open my own shop. No, it didn't work in that way.
No.
So you have to go inside the shop and understand what's going on. Yeah.
And how long after that were you in London?
This was the first shop when I was back from London.
Okay.
And I've been back in London after 8 years. And I worked for 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you've done a lot of traveling for tattooing.
I did some of them,
Mm-hmm.
not as much that I like. I hope that this year will be a good year to travel.
Any place in particular that?
I've been a few times in America, a Long Beach Tattoo Convention, and it's really, really nice convention. I like it a lot because you can have like cars outside. The convention is in a boat. It's really nice. And I've been in Spain. I've been in Japan because we do Japanese, so let's try to go into that.
Did you visit certain tattoo shops while you were there or get tattooed?
Yeah, we've been to Ryoshi shops.
Oh, wow.
And we get tattooed. 5 of us, about just 4 get a tattoo. It was an amazing experience. A really amazing experience. He's a great and funny man. He came with his motorbike, like tiny motorbike. It was so funny. Nice experience.
That's great.
Yeah.
Super cool. I'm really happy that you were able to make the time and I was able to fly in here. And tomorrow I fly again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I really appreciate it. And I look forward for the next time you come and let's do some painting together.
Yeah,
like
it would
we were
be
talking
soon.
about.
Prepare yourself.
Awesome. I'm ready.
Good.
Can you tell me where I can find you on Instagram or website, shops?
I'm working at the Swan Song in Italy, in Rome.
Yeah.
You can find me under my name, Daniele Tonelli, in Instagram and Facebook. I have a website and it's danieletonelliart.com.
Perfect.
So these are all my contacts.
Wonderful.
I can give you my number in private if you like.
I'll take it. Great. I appreciate it. And,
thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you.
Thank you, man. It was so fucking hard.
No, you did great. I know you did great.